in this video, I'm going to give some hints for the chapter 6 homework. So this should be problem C6P5.cpp and .exe. My dogs are barking, so hopefully that's not too much of a hindrance. So the first thing to say is that this is a big program. It's bigger than we've seen before. I'm getting close to 200 lines in my version of it. So if it's right now, it's about noon on Sunday. If you haven't started yet, I suggest that you get going. It's going to take a while. Okay. The other thing is, I think it's important that this one especially, you take in pieces. The problem mentions a couple of different functions that you're supposed to create. I've got a couple more I've created. So make sure that you get one working, then the next working, then the next. Okay. So for me, I started with the menu. Okay. So I'm going to start with a run through of my version of the program. Hopefully my dog will quit barking here in a minute. Okay. I don't know what this is doing. There we go. Okay. So what I've done, and I'll show you this in a second. Some of this I will show you. I've put in a clear screen function that just loops through and does a bunch of new line characters. There's not a good clear screen in C++ that's universal enough. So I've just done that. So I'm popping up the menu of what the program is, and then I've got my menu options here. Okay. If you go to 1, it just prints out some stuff about how to use the program. Okay, not much there. If you hit enter, notice it asks if I press any key to return, and I'll show you that function too. It takes me back to the menu. At 2, to sell some coffee, it's going to go through how many small do you want? Okay, I want 1. So I want 2 medium and I want 3 large. Okay. It then clears the screen and shows for this order, 1 small coffees, 2 medium coffees, 3 medium coffees, the unit price for the 1, the 2, and the 3, and then a total. Okay. Press enter to continue, takes you back to here. Okay. So once you have something, okay, it should add up too. So if I do sell, I did 1, 2, and 3. If I add more coffee, sell more coffee. Okay. Oh, that was the 1. 2, if I do 1, 1, 1, it's going to give me this total. Okay. And now when I go to view the total coffee sold by size, there should be 2, 3, and 4. Okay. So if I go to 3, you see that we do. We have 2, 3, and 4 cups sold for a total of 9 cups. Okay. This is a weird program. So, keep that in mind. Okay. Then if I go to 4, oddly enough, from what I could tell from the program, and you see I've got coffee spelled wrong, but it wants to it says a total coffee sold, not by cup. So I took that to mean by ounces. Okay. So I've done the ounces there. Okay. Total for that. And that goes up every time. If I sell more, it's going to go up even more. Okay. And then the last option here is how much money has been made. So again, I broke it down that there have been 2 small sold. They're $1.75 each. That's $3.50 total. There were 3 medium sold at $1.90 each, and so forth, and giving a total of $17.20. Okay. Note that I included IO manip, and I set my precision to 2 with fixed to get the correct number of digits to display. Okay. So that's one way this program can work. So I like this problem because it doesn't tell you exactly what it wants. And that gets us to more where we need to be after we get through this class in data structures. You go out into the work world, you're not going to be given much at all except a description of what needs to happen. Okay. So your program can look different from this, and that's fine. But some of you, I think, were having trouble conceptualizing how I had interpreted it. Okay. So then I wanted to show you some of the functions and some of the things that I've done here. Okay. So again, I'm including the IO manip. So the 2 functions, actually 3 functions I want to show you. I've got a clear screen function, which I think is useful to make the script, make it look better. Okay. I've got this press enter to continue function, so I can call that whenever I need it to pause. Because what will happen if you're in a loop for your menu, which you should be, if you go to a menu item without a pause, it will just display it and take it back to the menu. Okay. So I think you could do the code every time, but I think it makes more sense to do it there. There's a couple of ways to do that. And in fact, I've got 2 different ones. And then I do a menu program because you're going to be calling that a lot. So what I do, and it's an int function because it's going to return the choice that they make. Okay. So my main program, I called the menu to begin with to get the C. Of course, I would have had to initialize C. Okay. And then 6 is the exit. So while C is not equal to 6, I'm going to do a switch on C. Okay. And if they select one, then I'm going to call the function for the how to and then press enter to continue, then my break. The same thing for all these different functions. Okay. And then anything else that we're done. Okay. And here's another way that we can cause them to pause the cn.ignore. So when I did that, it stops it as well. And then I call the menu again. Okay. So the menu function then, I initially set C equal to 7. I'm going through while C is less than 0 or C is greater than 6. So if it's out of range, it's going to keep looping. And then I'm printing out the options there and then asking the user for that. And then I'm returning that value. Okay. And then the percent to clear, I've just got this. It uses a printf, which it doesn't, don't worry about that. That could be a C out too. But I found this and I'm using it. So I'm pressing any key to continue. I'm flushing the standard output. Okay. And then I'm going to do this do C is equal to get character. And while C is not equal to a new line and C is not equal to end of file, whatever. It works. You don't have to understand it. You can copy and paste that. I will post that later. Okay. And then the clear screen, I'm just going to go through and I'm for 20 times, I'm doing an inline. That's all that's doing. Okay. So hopefully that's helpful. Again, I encourage you to get started as quickly as you can on this particular program.